Hope you guys are doing great. Just wanted to give a shout out to all my Preggo fellow friends out there. And I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about fitness in pregnancy because I know that that's a question I get asked a lot. And it's a question that I had. I mean, it was a big question for me because my job as an online coach is to help people with their fitness, and so I'm not a fitness expert at all, but it's obviously it's a big part of my life. It's a something that has become a hobby and a passion of mine. So when I was, thinking about getting pregnant, and then when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what can you do? What can you not do? What are the rules? And I had to do a lot of my own personal research on that because I didn't really have a lot of people I could ask, or, people that I had known that had really experienced like a fit pregnancy or a healthy pregnancy. So I was kind of left to do my own research with that. So I just wanted to share with you guys just what I've learned on my own and what I've experienced, and hopefully that I hope that it can benefit you as well. So I think that the number one thing when it comes to having a healthy or a fit pregnancy or working out while you're pregnant, there's a lot of like, I guess, just old school mentality thinking behind that. And because a lot of people think that as soon as you become pregnant, that you just kind of have to chill and be relaxed, and you can't really move around a lot. You can't do anything strenuous. You can't pick anything heavy up. There's all of that around that. Everyone's like, oh, be careful, don't do this. And I understand you do have to take certain precautions, of course. And there are rare occasions where people might be on bed rest, or they might not be allowed to do this, that, and the other because of certain medical conditions or whatever, but that is the rarity. That is not the norm. But a normal, healthy pregnancy is not one that involves you just kind of sitting around. And unfortunately, a lot of people take it as an opportunity or as an excuse to be lazy, and that's not good for you as the mom or for your baby. So there's actually a lot more that you can do than what you can't do. So it's really just a matter of kind of educating yourself and knowing what is okay and what's not okay. And the moral of the story is that when you lead an active lifestyle, even through your pregnancy, you are going to be so much healthier as a mom, and you're going to give your baby so much benefit out of that. So there's tons of studies that have been done, and all these articles that I've read and gone through. And just to kind of sum it up a little bit, some of the benefits for your baby from working out are that your baby will be born with a healthy BMI, a body to fat ratio. So they'll have a healthy BMI. There are studies that are shown that babies sleep better, that they nurse better, that they have higher IQs, that there's just so many benefits, that it really boosts the brain development of the baby when you lead an active lifestyle. So there's like benefit on top of benefit on top of benefit. So, and that's just for the baby. Obviously for you as the mom, exercising throughout your pregnancy, it's going to help you be strong. It's going to help you release some of that stress. It's going to help you better control your hormones and your emotions, because exercising is total stress relief, and you get endorphins, and it's wonderful, it's awesome. So there's so many benefits for you as a mom. It helps you maintain a gradual weight gain versus too much at once, or even not enough. It helps you maintain a gradual weight gain. It helps you be in better shape to lose the weight after baby, of course. So it kind of gives you a head start. And the thing is, I mean, guys, labor is like a marathon, I mean, at least that's what I'm told. So it's like a marathon, and just like you wouldn't go and just jump right into a marathon without any kind of training, something like this, you need to train your body. You need to improve your endurance. And so leading a healthy lifestyle will help you so much in your actual labor and delivery. There are so many muscles that you actually use in your body in labor, in birth. And so if you have those muscles activated and if you're working on them, then it's going to mean a smoother experience for you. And there's actually a lot of exercises that help your body get into alignment and help baby get into position So when it is time for labor and delivery, baby's like locked and loaded and ready to go. So there's so many things you can do that you can implement that will improve your whole pregnancy experience and your labor and birth. So to me, it's a no-brainer. It's much healthier for you to implement exercise throughout your pregnancy versus not doing it at all, unless of course you have some kind of rare, thing where you're not allowed. So let's kind of just talk about like what you can do and what you cannot do. And this is not an extensive list, but it's just like, kind of like a summary of what I've learned as I've studied all this stuff. So some of the things you can't do after your first trimester, you don't want to do any exercises that involve you lying on your back, because it can, your uterus has grown to such a size that it can compress the main vein that carries blood from your heart. So, so you don't want to do anything where you're like lying on your back for an extended period of time. Here and there a little bit, it's not a big deal, but you don't just want to be like lying on your back for like, hours on end. I mean, not that really many exercises do that, but anyway, so don't do a lot of stuff that involves you lying on your back. Obviously, contact sports are probably not a good idea. You know, no like flag football or tackle football or even stuff like soccer where you can easily like, fall over, or stuff that you would be more likely to fall over and trip and injure yourself, because falling down is not really good while you're pregnant. So, avoid things that involve you falling down. What are some other things that are no-goes? Like, okay, as far as lifting heavy things, they basically say that whatever you did before you were pregnant, you can continue to do in your pregnancy, with modifications, obviously, hello. But, so it does depend a little bit on your fitness beforehand, but that's not to say that if you did nothing beforehand that you can't have a fit pregnancy, now. There are things you can implement. I mean, cardio. I mean, just even walking and getting your heart rate up, that is like so healthy. It's so healthy for you. It's so healthy for your baby. Remember, it can ward off diabetes. It can ward off preeclampsia. It can ward off so many of these things that a lot of moms face unnecessarily because they don't have the best lifestyle choices. So so there's just so many benefits to it. But so even if you weren't like really physically active before, there's things that you can do now, even light cardio. It will benefit you so much. So okay, as far as lifting, let's get back to that. Lifting, you kind of want to stick with whatever you did before and not more than that. It's not like a time to be, surpassing your goals and all that kind of stuff. You want to do it gradual. You want to do it. You do want to have like a milder version of what you used to do, but you still need to do it. So, like that, a pregnant lady doesn't want to lift really more than like 25 pounds at a time. And you think about that, I mean, how many moms are there that have toddlers? They're pregnant with their second and they have, a toddler, maybe they have other kids and they got one on their hip and they got this big old belly. How much does that toddler weigh? I mean, granted, he's probably 20 to 25 pounds, right? So it's totally okay for you to lift up to 25 pounds. Personally, I stick with like 5 to 8 pounds when I'm working out and stuff. That works for me. That's all I need. So it's not like you even have to go up to that much, but that would be probably like your limit. Like, don't go above that. For me, I don't even dance at the boundary lines. I stay far away from that, but I still, definitely get my heart rate up. I still get a good workout in, 3 to 4 to 5 times a week. So, so that's the thing. What you want to monitor when you're working out is that you don't want your heart rate to go too high, but you do want to get it up, because that's the point. And it's good for your heart, of course. It's good for the baby. It's good for circulation. It's good for stretching. It's good for flexibility. So, but a way to kind of monitor, like, am I doing too much or too little? You should always be able to hold a conversation while you're working out. So if you're working out so strenuously that you can't answer a question back in a full sentence, then you probably need to tone it down a little bit, okay? But you do want to get your heart rate up. You do want to do some things that involve some activity and get the blood pumping. But that's a good way to kind of monitor like where you're at. So personally, like some of the things I've been doing through my company, I have a whole like online system, it's like a Netflix kind of thing for fitness programs. So, which has been great because normally I do like a program start to finish, but with pregnancy, it's like some days I wake up and I want to do yoga. Some days I wake up and I want to do like something more cardio. Some days I just, I only have 20 minutes, so I need to do something fast, and I want to incorporate some weights and all that. So I have like a bunch of different kinds of workouts that I choose from. but I love Pio, which is like a mixture of Pilates and yoga. I love like kickboxing because it's a good cardio workout. Dance workouts are awesome for cardio, and you want to do something that does involve some weights to it too, you know. And again, it doesn't have to be a lot, 5 to 8 pounds. You know, it really doesn't have to be a lot to get a good burn in your muscles, and it doesn't have to be for a super long period of time either. 20-30 minutes is literally all I do, you know, between 3 to 5 times a week. And because think about it, you know, you might not be able to work out like you did before, but there's still so many things that you can do, so many things that you can work out. Your legs, doing squats. You know, you can definitely work on toning your booty while your belly's growing. Your arms, I mean, hello, you're gonna be carrying that little baby around in those carriers and the diaper bag and all that. So it's actually really good for you to do a workout for your arms. You know, there's even your core muscles. Now, here's the thing about core muscles that I've learned, you know, and it is a common question that comes up with pregnant ladies, is that, you know, they don't want to get the diastasis recti, which is the separation of the ab muscles, which is, it's rare actually. Not every woman gets it, but what happens is because the ab muscles, the uterus is growing to such a point that ab muscles in some women, not all, it pushes the the front middle ab muscles apart, and it's very hard to get it back together. But it can be done. Okay, it can come back together. So if that has happened to you, and people who have had multiple pregnancies back to back, or people who have carried multiples at the same time, are more susceptible to it. But also doing like too much like ab work can actually cause that to happen during pregnancy. So for me, I don't do core work. I'm like, if that's the boundary, I'm not even going to go there. So I stay away from that, of like any exercises that directly work, you know, your middle core muscles. But what is good actually is to do exercises that work your side core, you know, your oblique muscles, because your core does help in holding your baby and holding your belly, and it does help in your labor as well. So it is good to train the core a little bit, but just not like over the top. You know, you want to monitor that and really stick with more exercises that focus on, you know, your obliques and stuff. So if there's one area that maybe you want to back off of, that would be the area. But there's still things that you can do that don't involve, you know, just those front muscles. So work on the side ones. You know, but all of these things add up to you having a really healthy pregnancy, a really fit pregnancy where you feel good, where you have tons of energy. You know, like I've had so much energy throughout this, and I know it has a lot to do with nutrition as well, but I know my workouts really help. You know, it helps me to stay flexible, it helps me to stay calm, it helps me to release stress, and it helps me feel strong as well, you know, and I know at the same time I'm doing something so good for my baby. So one concern that a lot of people have is like, you know, like jumping up and down and doing stuff like that. Like obviously you don't really want to be doing like box jumps and stuff like that. And I'm sure there are some people that do it and they have no issues. But again, I'm not trying to stay close to the boundaries. I'm just trying to, you know, maintain and have a healthy pregnancy. So, you know, I do jumping jacks and stuff like that, but I modify a lot of things. I don't do full out burpees. I don't do, you know, again, like a lot of the core work. So I modify a lot of things, but I do most of the same exercises I did before. I just do the modified version. So we have a modifier on my little TV screen, and I follow her, you know, and I still get a great workout, great sweat. And so anyways, I just wanted to kind of share with you guys what I'm doing and what has been working really well for me. And just kind of share some of what I've learned, because it's a lot of information out there that you kind of have to sort through. But the moral of the story is it's much better to exercise than not exercise, that you're giving your body incredible benefits. You're giving your baby tons of benefits. So don't leave those benefits on the table, guys. Make a plan, you know, make an action plan to be able to get some workouts in throughout your pregnancy, because you'll feel so much better. It's going to improve your pregnancy and your delivery. And, you know, so, and if you need any help with that, I'm more than happy to share it with you, anything else, or answer any questions. So don't hesitate to reach out. Okay. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye.